Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bremner Square Podcast. My name is Johnny Chick, and joining me we have Adam Henderson. Adam, how are you doing, mate?
Good, Johnny. Obviously, a bit down after the weekend, but apart from that, I'm feeling good.
Good stuff. We're going to try and bring some sort of positivity to Leeds United fans' lives. Kieran, give us some positivity. Did Liversidge, how did they get on this weekend? And in the last couple of weeks, we haven't seen you.
That's not really helping out much. I mean, the last couple of weeks have been really good. It's just been win after win after win. But then yesterday we go to, I think, 16th place in the league, Bridlington Town away. Expecting a win really from that. And we go 2-0 down. We managed to claw it back to 2-2 with the last minute equaliser. But it's
that's all right.
Well, it was a game in hand on second place in the league, and we had a chance to move 4 points clear, and we were expecting to going up against 16th place in the league, but we've only managed to move 2 points clear after the same amount of games, so it's a missed opportunity, really.
So we're Liversidge top at the moment?
Yeah, we are. We're leading the league. We've lost one game all season. I think we've got 3 draws, and we're not running away with the league somehow because Leeds United are also doing really well and keeping the pressure on us. So it's been a strange season, really.
I've never seen someone so sad about a last minute equaliser. I know I get it's 16th and you're top of the league, but hopefully they can clinch promotion come the end of the season. That'll be some scenes. It wasn't good scenes at Goodison Park though. We will get onto that in just a moment. We are live on Leeds TV, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you want to put in any comments, vent your feelings, just to sort of get the frustration of yesterday's performance out of the way in the comment section, please do. Maybe we might see Leeds legend Michael Brown in the comment section just to cheer us all up once again. But Adam, I mean, if we were recording this podcast on Wednesday night, Thursday evening potentially, it would probably be quite cheery after a very good point at Villa Park, but Saturday's just completely ruined it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was such a contrast, I think, from Wednesday. I think how we came back into the game was brilliant. Obviously there was a few cracks in the defence, but yeah, the side was just non-existent on Saturday. It was just, there was no sort of fight. I know we hit the crossbar twice, but apart from that, it was dead. We were dead in the water. We didn't look at all up for it. It looked like we were knackered more than anything. But yeah, not good at all. Really not good.
You could sort of tell, couldn't you, Kieran, that from that first minute when who was it? Was it Gordon went through 1-on-1 for them and missed, that it was going to be a very, very long day, and we just one of those games again. How many times we've said it this season? Where it was potentially Bielsa's worst performance with the Leeds side, but it was just one of those days where we didn't look, we didn't really get going, did we?
No, I think there was a barrage of early chances before they got ahead, and it was starting to look like a difficult day. But whenever it's at 0-0, you just hope that you get back into it and turn the game around. But I think from the moment we went behind, I just did not back us at all to come through the game with anything, because we were just so far away from us best. I think we were sloppy. I think Everton did a good job of pressing us high and putting us under pressure, and we didn't deal with it well at all. It was loose pass after loose pass, just giving the ball back to him and inviting the pressure. And, I think there may be a bit of a hangover from the Villa game where we put in a lot of effort and, put in a really decent performance, especially attacking-wise. And I think we've seen it a few times this season. We have that performance or that win that makes us think, we're looking back towards his best. We're looking a lot more like the side we were last season, and then we follow it up with a really poor performance just to bring us back down to earth.
Yeah, dare I say it, Adam? I don't want to say this, but does Frank Lampard just now sort of know what to do with Bielsa? Is that coming from a bad place? I don't know.
I think that obviously you might have an idea of how his like Derby side like beat Leeds a couple of times, but I don't know. I mean, I think there's always ways through a Frank Lampard team. I think there is. I mean, there's ways through every team, but like we've beaten them before. Like I don't see, it's just one of those things. But I think he just had our number on yesterday. It was just one of those things, and obviously when the team is looking like jaded, like they were, I think it's not that difficult for an attacking side to open us up in areas. But I think, I mean, he seems to have our number of late, and I think that's it's frustrating. But no, I think obviously it's just one of those things. It's just typical. It's against Frank Lampard,
I know. I kind of forgot before kickoff, and I saw him on the touchline. I was like, what's he doing there? Like, why is he there? Oh yeah, he's manager of Everton. They sort of just came out of the blue, really, didn't it? Last couple of weeks, and he's won that one, beat us with the Chelsea side last season, the playoff game. So it's 3-3 in the Bielsa Lampard rivalry. So I think we just call it next one wins, really. So next season when we're both in the Premier League still and they're both managers, then we can settle it at the death. But I don't know, Kieran, to me, it just seemed like they just wanted it more. And I was speaking to my mate who's an Everton fan. He was saying like it feels like though their players sort of now realise they were in a bit of a relegation battle. They sort of need to stop being a bit cocky and sort of realise their level. And then they started playing. I don't know. They first to every second ball. They were pressing high. They just came out of the traps and took the Goodison Park atmosphere and ran with it.
Yeah, and as soon as you just start to get the crowd behind you a bit, after how bleak things have been for Everton for weeks, and that's a really positive sign, and you can see why the crowd started to get behind them again, because they outworked us, that's a tough one to take because we're not usually outworked at the very least, but they just looked fresher and fitter than us and were first to everything, like you said. So yeah, it was a really difficult afternoon, and we just never really had any control in the game, I don't think. Everton, they dominated the game pretty much from start to finish and fully deserved to win. It's always a tough one to take against Frank Lampard as well. So it is a shame. But I don't know if there's a bit of I've already said a bit of a hangover from that Villa game. I'm going to sound a bit Jurgen Klopp here, where I'm complaining about the fixture schedule. But I feel like usually matches are scheduled so that a team that plays Sunday the week before then plays on the Wednesday, or if you play the Wednesday midweek, you tend to play on a Sunday. But we've had to go Wednesday to Saturday, and you just wonder if maybe that extra day's rest and recuperation and training, whether that would actually make a difference, especially with a side like Leeds and what we do tend to put into games.
Yeah, and I've always liked Jurgen Klopp. I completely agree with what he's saying. I'd play on the Wednesday. You should play the following, not the next Saturday, the Saturday after that. Give you maximum break time, in my opinion. I mean, Aston Villa have suffered a bit of a hangover as well. Like today, they've lost to Newcastle, which has done us a great favour of trying to not panic about the drop zone. They look like they're out of it a bit now, Adam, don't they? They're 2 points off us. I think we'll talk about actually the whole situation of where we are in the sort of Man United preview, because that run of games is a whole different sort of kettle of fish. What I do want to talk about, Rafinha was subbed off at half time. And when I saw in my way of watching the game on a certain website, I saw Roberts come on and I thought, I can already see what Twitter's going to be like. Okay, I've got a bit of faith in Roberts. And I saw this sort of at the top in the purple and green Premier League font, Rafinha's arrow. And that's wrong. So I checked, and he's gone off at half time. Seemed tactical, no sort of injury problem with Rafinha, it looks like. Floor's yours, Adam. I don't know what you make to it.
Oh, well, at first I thought, he's injured. I was like, that's the only reason probably why he's come off. Like, there's a concern. But as soon as I saw it was tactical, the anger was building. But I just, I know he played pretty poor against Villa, but I think he was doing okay-ish against Everton. I think, he had, he did that lovely ball to Rodrigo, which he shot, and then it hit the bar. But he has got that magic in him. And I think as soon as we brought him off, the game was done for me when that happened. At half time it was done. There was the team just looked lost. And I know I'm sure he's a good guy now. I'm not knocking him, but you bring Rafinha off and it's, you bring Roberts on, it's just not that cutting edge. And I just think our quality differences are paramount, and Rafinha possesses quality and we needed quality. But I'm really frustrated. I always go with Bielsa on a lot of decisions. Like, I'd always back him, but I think probably that he got that one wrong for me. That's just my opinion. But.
Yeah, like you say, like Rafinha is that man who, yes, last couple of games hasn't been at his best, but he's carried us through the whole first part of the season with his goals and stuff and assists and just moments of brilliance. He's the man you can turn to and, expect like a strike like he did against Everton last season and earlier on in the season. Like, just when you remove him from the pitch, like we've always said, well, if Rafinha gets injured, then that could be our season over. Like, bringing him off just is effectively the same thing. You got 45 minutes without him, without Stuart Dallas, which Kieran, I think, was a massive miss as well. 9 minutes in.
Yeah, I think Dallas is a massive miss, and I hope that it's not too serious. I don't know if anything's been said about timescales or extent of injury yet.
I don't think anything's been said yet. I don't think anything's been said.
But no, it is that man. He's people may refer to him as a 7 out of 10 every week, no matter what position you put him in. But I'd say that often he's an 8 or a 9 out of 10 even. And his influence on this team has been huge ever since he kind of. I think he struggled when Bielsa first came in, or he wasn't part of his immediate plans. But second half of that season, Bielsa's first season, he spent more and more time in the team, and ever since, he's just been a crucial aspect of the team. His work rate is second to none, but he's also got a lot of quality to go alongside it. He's a great battler, which is why he can fill in at left back and right back really well, despite being, he started out as a winger, but he plays a lot central midfield. He's one of my favourite Leeds United players, I've got to say, and I think it was a huge blow as soon as he came off, and I just hope that we don't have to spend too many games without him, because we will miss him. We'll definitely miss him.
Yeah, massively. I don't know if you saw, I think it was Phil Hay tweeted earlier talking about his injury. Like, he started, I think, the last 105 games for Leeds or something like that. 106, and has always been involved in a match day squad since 2018-19, I think, at some point throughout that season, which is ridiculous. I don't know if you've seen on Twitter as well, like, I think we've got a new chant for him now, which got created before the game yesterday, and I swear we've got some sort of curse with chants, because Klitsch's scoring goals was like created in like his prime period in 2018, then went on a barren run of just not being able to score. The follow chant has come about, and then all of those players, seemingly bar Rafinha, have been injured this season. Dallas gets his own chant, which he's been craving since 2015, gets injured in the 10th minute. I don't think we can really read too much into that, but let's not try and make a Rafinha chant anytime soon. That's all I'll be saying. But I mean, Adam, we like what we said earlier, we just seem so Jekyll and Hyde at the moment. West Ham was so good, Newcastle was so poor. Villa, yes, it was a draw, but a very convincing performance and could have been more. This was poor. What is it that's making us turn up to some games and just not playing how we were before? Basically, become a football manager and tell me why on earth yesterday happened.
I'm really, I don't know. I mean, I play a bit of Football Manager, and good. So I don't know what's happening there. I mean,
how good are you at Football Manager?
I'm all right. I started at Kidderminster. Then went to Crewe, and then somehow I got the job at Lazio. So I don't know how that's just mad on my game.
I'll completely take whatever you're about to say with full advice then, because it seems like you're a footballing genius.
I think, we need to get... I don't know if it is... I think, to be honest, it's a consistency of, one, we need players back. We're playing with different squads and different players. We've got a lot of youngsters on the bench, and it's just a never-ending sort of injury circle. And you see that Dallas coming off, and it was just, it's just typical. It would be Dallas. Like, probably any other player, like bar Rafinha, like, we probably would be all right. We could probably fill the gap, but he's so instrumental, Dallas. And I think it's, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a training kind of thing, like, but we looked, I mean, Aston Villa, like, they played today, and they didn't look as knackered as we did. I mean, I know they played on the Sunday today, so they had probably a bit of an extra day, but they looked all right. I don't know if it's something we need to do on the training pitch. Like, okay, guys, let's just have a break today, and then we'll come back again. I mean, I would just rest the squad for a bit and then we'll come back. But that's not Bielsa, is it? But
are you suggesting that against Man United we play full under-18s just to rest the squad?
No, we need to throw everyone in for that one, all the important ones. But no, we need to, like, I don't know if it's maybe in the midweek. We could just have a couple of days off and then just let the players clear their heads, get it out of their system, and then we'll come back fresh. I mean, that's what I would do. But obviously, Bielsa's a lot better than me, and he's a I consider him a fantastic manager. But yeah, I would just rest him. That's just my thing.
Yeah. I think he hasn't gone from Kidderminster to Lazio, so I don't know. You might be near his level. You could be near his level, but like Kieran, like Adam said there, with the sort of players, maybe, looking a bit fatigued, tired. I think Ayling and Harrison's pass completion statistics were borderline sort of shambolic, really, yesterday. And the sort of more experienced heads that you need to step up when a young Kjelder's coming on, trying to replace the boots of Dallas. It was sort of, I guess, if those sorts of players aren't becoming too instrumental, you're facing really no chance, really, are you?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think when you're in a situation that we're in at the moment with injuries, with his league position, you are really looking for those senior players to kind of stand up and be counted. And I don't want to go too much in on Ayling, on Harrison, others as well, because I mean, it was just a difficult game where no one really turned up. But I mean, despite the season we're having, I'd say it's a bit uncharacteristic as well. I think we've rarely been that bad. Maybe the City game, but we were playing against the best team in the country by a country mile against City. But yeah, we really did. We needed performances from his more senior players, and I don't think we got them at all.
No, we didn't at all. But like you say, we can't really dig too many into, because again, it's a collective. It's a team sport. Although I do think in the last week or so, Rodrigo has put himself above Leeds fans' sort of thoughts on him, than they were before the Villa game. Because I thought against Villa he played well. Crossbar shots should count as a half, I think, and total into about one goal for Rodrigo yesterday. So a 3-1 defeat for Leeds. I think, Adam, I sort of just put my laptop down and thought, wow, when Dele Alli almost assisted Rondon, and without Melier's fantastic save, Rondon would have got on a score sheet. And at that point, I would have happily just retired and taken the championship at that point, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it would have just been typical Leeds that Rondon would get on the score sheet. But I mean, obviously it was a great save from Melier. So, I mean, you're clinging to positives. I am. I mean, the Melier save. Yeah, I mean, he's a great young keeper. It's just, but that was a really, really good save, top quality. And then I think Rodrigo, as you said, I think he has put his name back on the lips of Leeds fans. I think he has got quality. You can see that, and I think it's nice to see him, even though he hit the crossbar. It's nice to see him getting those chances, because he has it in him. He's got the quality, and you can see his track record at like Valencia and stuff. He has done really well. So yeah, I think he'll come good, and I think it's great that we do have someone like that.
No, it certainly is, and I think the The good thing about this situation, if there is a positive about this situation, if there was any game that the Leeds players can make up to the fans in, it would be Manchester United at home in front of a packed out Ellen Road. And that is what's coming next for Leeds United. Look, we could have got battered 7-8-0. If we go and get 3 points on Sunday in a week's time, God, this time in a week it'll all be over. All of last week, the 7-0 to City, the 1-0 awful performance against Southampton, I think is all forgotten. I don't know about you, Kieran, but 3 points Sunday would be, I sort of, you can't really put it into words, can you?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to put it too much into words because I can't see it.
It's a podcast. Can you put it into some sort of
yeah,
words?
I'll try. No, I mean, it'd be a huge lift for everyone to go and beat Man United. We're obviously still waiting for that first win against Man United since returning to the Premier League. I think we got a draw at Elland Road last season. A ball draw, wasn't it, in the end, 0-0. And that felt good at the time. We're in a really good run of form as well, and not dropping points against a team that, though still one of the best sides in the league at that point, was a great performance at the time. Man United at the moment, very indifferent. I think, in a way, and I feel stupid for saying this, I think I've said it against the team earlier. I said it about Arsenal earlier in the season, and then we ended up with half his team out injured and just never looks like winning the game. But I do feel like Man United are there for the taking if we can string together a performance, something like the West Ham game or even the Aston Villa game. If we go out and play like that, then I think we have got a fighting chance. But when you just come off the back of a game like that one against Everton, it is really hard to see the positives and to see that happen. But we have got it in us, so we just need the players to show it.
It is. But you say we come off the back of it. It came off the back of a poor performance against West Ham in the FA Cup. Did very well against West Ham. Poor performance against Newcastle. Did well against Villa. Poor performance against Everton. Ding, ding, ding. 5-0 against Man United at Ellen Road is all I'm hearing, really. I mean, Adam, what are your thoughts on Manchester United as a club, fan base, the rivalry?
Well, I think they're obviously a huge football club. There's no denying that. As painful it is to say it, they are a big side. And yeah, I mean, fan base, they fill out Old Trafford, so that's decent. I mean, yeah, they're a good side. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to heap.
You couldn't really tell that they're our biggest rival, could you?
Yeah,
you think they're like our best mate? They've got great lads, Man United. They're really good.
I mean, but I think with the game on Sunday, I think it's a good time to play them. I think they're not looking like world beaters. I mean, there's a bit of, I think, unrest in their camp with Ralph Rangnick and some of the players not agreeing probably with his style of play and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's a great time. I mean, there's no more intimidating place to come than Ellen Road, and I don't think they'll enjoy coming to Ellen Road, because it's going to be really rowdy and an electric atmosphere, I'm sure. And I think, the Leeds players will want to put what happened yesterday right, because it was really poor. And I felt sorry for the travelling fans, because come all that way, and I know they looked like they had a good time on the way back and whatnot, but I think you owe it to them, because the Leeds fans and us as fans, we go through it thick and thin, and I think those fans, I hope, will get the performance that they deserve.
Hopefully, it's kind of a bit of a pinch yourself moment in a sense as to where we are. Like, Pascal Struijk could be coming up against Cristiano Ronaldo in a week's time, and I think that is, again, the sort of positive shift of this time 4 years ago we were watching Lawrence de Bock, and now it's it's sort of where we are as a club. But that's obviously a positive. If Ronaldo is to start, I mean, that's like I say, it shows where we are as a club now. But we saw earlier on in the season, Andros Townsend did Ronaldo's celebration against him for Everton. I've just thought of this on the spot. If you two could both have a Leeds player to pull out his celebration against him on Sunday, which Leeds player would you want to see do that, dare I say, iconic Sue celebration in front of him on Sunday, sort of just to rustle his feathers a bit. Because I personally think Luke Ayling would be phenomenal to see do that. I don't know who you'd pick, Kieran.
I mean, Luke Ayling's a great shout. I'm gonna be weirdly tactical about this question and say Calvin Phillips, because that means he's suddenly recovered from injury and he's back in the team. So we'll have Calvin to do it.
I mean, the club baited us. I say baited us in. Like, we've always been told it's March they're coming back, him and Cooper. When they posted the photo of them two in training like 2 weeks ago, I thought, oh, well, they'll be back for the next game then suddenly. But they're still apparently very much not back until March. I mean, Adam, who would you be picking?
I'm quite feeling either Rafinha or Click, because I think Click could give it a bit of, take the mick a bit with it. But yeah, I think Raf could do a really good job with it. I think he could do a good one. I mean, but yeah, I'm probably leaning more towards Click, I think. Yeah.
I might actually go with that. I think if he did it, that would for everything that's gone on in the last couple of weeks behind, that's completely fine. If that's the first goal and we go on to lose 5-1 like we did before, that's as long as I've seen that's fine by me. I mean, the previous meetings between us, like you said, Kieran, 0-0, the game at Ellen Road last season was potentially the worst game of football I've ever watched. But the 6-2 and 5-1 have just been plain embarrassing. They were under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is now Ralf Rangnick. Dare I say it, that's even though he might be a better manager, there's maybe less chance of us losing 5-1 or 6-2?
Yeah, well, I think Ralf Rangnick, if you look at his record, his history in management, the people that he's influenced heavily, you've got to have a lot of respect for him, but he just doesn't seem to have really got along well with the Man United players. I think the players are struggling to adapt to his ways, and it's one of those where it's maybe the wrong club at the wrong time for him. He might be the right manager, but it's just not worked out at all so far. So I'm more confident heading into this match against the Ralf Rangnick Man United than I ever was against an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer Man United, weirdly enough.
Yeah, no, completely agree. I don't know why. It's just one of those managers, a bit like sort of like Gary Monk for Bielsa, that just always seem to have Bielsa's number in a weird way. I don't like saying like any manager would, but Lampard in the last couple of games and like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer seemed like 6-2, 5-1. I mean, I don't really want to talk about those games too much because they were just plain embarrassing and humiliating. But in terms of the team news, I mean, we don't know what the team news is for the game next Sunday. Who's going to be back? We might see that Calvin's back. Bamford will be back alongside his child, and Bamford's child might be starting. I don't know, all this kind of stuff. But say Adam, Dallas is potentially 50-50. Hjelde is fit and Junior Firpo is back. Who are you putting in that left back and sort of that starting 11 in general?
I think Firpo for me, just because I think he's just a bit quicker than Hjelde, and I think the Man U wingers are quite pacey. So I think we just need a bit of pace in there. But I think Hjelde could do equally as a good job. I think you just got to be a bit careful. I think just with the speed element. I think that's the big thing. But yeah, I mean, I'd go with Firpo for me. I think he'd be more comfortable playing against, I mean, you got like the likes of, Sancho and Ronaldo. I think Firpo for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, Firpo was really coming into his own before the injury that he picked up a couple of weeks ago. Kieran, would you make any changes to the starting 11 in general that faced Everton? A Forshaw back in, maybe?
You know what? I might put Forshaw back in. I'm not 100% sure, but obviously we're picking from a threadbare squad at the moment, so I'm not really sure what you can do with it. If Firpo's back, I definitely would have him back in. Above Hjelde, even though I do rate Hjelde, I think Firpo, like you say, was really coming into his own just before he got injured again. Starting to look like the player that we thought he was going to be when we signed him. More experienced, had more games under his belt. Like Adam said, a little bit quicker than Hjelde, so probably a better player to deal with kind of the strength of attacking players that Man United have got. And I feel like that's what it always was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with Man United. They want a well-managed team, they want a well-organised team that do have really talented attacking players that could could drag them through games and get goals and set up goals that kind of bailed him out a little bit. And now they're trying to put. Now there's someone in there trying to put more of a system in place, a better organised team. Maybe the attacking players haven't been able to just have that free license to do what they want anymore, and that's why it's not really been working out. So, I think if we can find a way to keep them quiet and just give ourselves a platform to maybe nick that one goal, that 1 or 2 goals, then we have got a chance of beating them. I do fear for us if. I know Ronaldo's not having a great time of it at the moment, but I do fear for us if he's in the team, because I think we're the kind of side that, especially the player he is nowadays, where he's more of a poacher, where he might get a lot of joy from set pieces. We know his aerial threat, and we know that we can struggle with that. So I'm quite scared of Cristiano Ronaldo, but I'd absolutely love it if we kept him quiet.
Yeah, it's not a stupid thing to say that you're scared of potentially one of the best players to grace the game. I'm scared of him, and hopefully the Leeds players aren't. Hopefully they're not. And look, as long as they can get themselves fired up, take the anger of Saturday into next Sunday, the whole 6-2, 5-1 humiliation, just put it into 90 minutes on the pitch. I've got a feeling, I know he won't start and may not even come off the bench, but I think Joe Gelhardt would be massively up for this. I think he'd absolutely thrive in that sort of atmosphere. He's come on against Wolves, which was a fantastic atmosphere in itself. He was very good. He thrives on that crowd. As a potential impact substitution, potentially that could work. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. But Adam, what would it mean for you to beat Manchester United on Sunday?
I think it would be huge. I think huge for the squad as well, and huge for the fans, because we've not had a great time of it, I think, against them, obviously, bar that boring game, the 0-0 game. But I think, it would mean everything. It's, one of our biggest rivalries, one of their biggest rivalries as well. So it's Yorkshire, Lancashire, and I think War of the Roses. So I think it's the game for us. But I just hope, that the lads really come out fighting, because the fans are going to be really on it. And I think, but just with Gelhardt, as you said, John, I think this kind of game as well would suit him. I think you bring him on as an impact player. I think, as you said, he thrives on the crowd. I think he gives you something different for me. And I think he would really sort of put a dagger into that Man United defence. I think they would struggle to deal with him, because he does love the atmosphere. The fans get really excited. And I just hope, we get those 3 points. Yeah.
I mean, like you said, that defence is there to be got at. Like we've sort of waxed lyrical over how good individually their talents are in an attacking sense. You've got Ronaldo, Fernandes, Sancho, but their defence is so poor at the moment. I mean, Rafael Varane is a Champions League winner. Like, he's done very well for them, but Maguire is getting slated for them each week. Like, their own fans turn on him week in, week out. The defence hasn't been that good. De Gea's kept them in a lot more games than, from conceding more goals than they should have done. But Kieran, for yourself, what would it mean to win on Sunday?
Yeah, a hell of a lot. I struggle to get my words out there. No, we haven't beaten them, obviously, since that FA Cup game. The Beckford goal, and that was probably one of the most joyous moments of my life watching Leeds United. And I thought, coming up to the Premier League, we'd have those 2 games against them every season. They haven't really been themselves for the past few seasons, and I thought, our lads will always be fired up when we're playing Man United, and we've got a chance. I'd absolutely love it. I've had to face so many, from Man United supporting friends, I've had to face so many digs when we were down in League One, and I've been waiting for it to get that return to a level footing with them and get that league win over them. So to finally see it, it'd mean a hell of a lot, and I just really hope we do it next week.
Exactly. I think for all our younger selves, really, we've all got Man United mates, all the time, like ones who don't go to the games, who don't really even check the scores, but just know Man United are a better club than Leeds. Just for all those times, this sort of comes out like I've been bullied for being a Leeds fan. I haven't, but just all those times, please win on Sunday. But I'm going to give you both a choice now, actually. I'll start with yourself, Adam. 3 or 4-0. a 3-0 win. A 3-0 win. You can choose whenever the goals come. Sort of, one in the first half, two in the second half, or a 90th minute penalty 1-0 win, or just 90th minute winner in itself in a 1-0 win.
I'll go. I want to go 3-0 just because I remember the Pablo Hernandez goal against West Brom, and it was like 27 seconds or whatever it was, and I'd love for that to be something similar like that because it was just absolutely amazing against West Brom that day. So I'd love to sort of recreate something like that, and I think it would just be brilliant. So I'll take 3-0 for me. Yeah,
that's good. I like that. Kieran, yourself?
As much as I absolutely love a late winner, I'm going to say 3-0 and the goals coming quite early, maybe 15th minute, 30th minute, and one in the second half in like the 60-odd minute, and just so it's relaxed, a nice relaxed game. We're always ahead on the score sheet. We're comfortably ahead on the score sheet for most of the game, so you're not really watching it as... I mean, you're still going to be tense. It's a big match against the biggest rivals, but
it's
just
Leeds. It's Leeds.
It's Leeds as well, but just to take a little bit of that tension away.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I'm with you there. I was thinking about 90th minute click celebrations. I was but actually the sort of comfortable 3-0 nature. I mean, that first half, the atmosphere anyway, all game would be fantastic. I just hope they don't take the sting out of the atmosphere, which is what the Man United players will be aiming to do. First 10 minutes, goal Man United, and it just drops. Because even if we can get into half-time 0-0, tails up, haven't conceded, still in it, that's more than enough for me, and then go get him in the second half. But look, it'll be 6-2 or 5-1 realistically. We do this every time we play them. So, Adam, score predictions.
I'll go, to be positive, I'm going to say 3-1 Leeds. Yeah.
Oh, blimey. The smile at just the thought of that happening would be lovely. It'd be so nice. Kieran?
I'm going to do a sit on the fence prediction and say repeat of last season, 0-0.
0-0. I'm going to go 1-0 Dan James against his old club. I think I see it happening. I'll tell you what, in mine and Adam's Aston Villa prediction, Kieran, I think I said a hat-trick for someone else, a bit like when Bamford's hat-trick at Villa Park season before. When Dan James got a second before half-time, I thought, I need to go back and find the clip of where I said this. I think I said actually I'd want Tyler Roberts to score a hat-trick, but when James has leaped above Tyrone Mings, I'm thinking there is genuine potential that there's a hat-trick is coming here. But no, I'm going to go 1-0 for next Sunday. And yeah, hopefully we just come away with 3 points. I mean, before we end, sort of just the situation we're in, yes, that is a massive game and form does go out the window for these sorts of games. But it is Man United. Liverpool's been rescheduled for the midweek. Then it's Spurs. Then it's Leicester. So 4 very difficult games. I think full-time Leicester have just drawn actually with West Ham today. I mean, they're not in the best form themselves. But Adam, it's 4 games which can make or break our season because we're maybe not expected to win the games. But after the 4 games, could leave us in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously Newcastle winning today, it is starting to get tighter and everything. But I think these next 4, they are big games, obviously. But I don't see why we can't maybe get 3 points out of maybe. I think like the Leicester game. I think because they aren't looking that great. I mean, it'll be tough against Man U, Liverpool, but yeah, I don't see a reason why we can't at least get 1 point, sort of 1-3 point out of the lot. But it's huge, these next ones, and I just hope the teams below us have a really torrid time as well, because I mean, you look at Newcastle and they're starting to look good. They're starting to sort of their tails are up and they're starting to pick up important points like they did today. And I mean, obviously, I know the other ones, it's like Burnley, lost today, but Watford and Norwich are, they're struggling. But you just can't let sort of you anything drop. I think especially you don't want to get hammered in these games. At least try and let's put in a good performance. But yeah, we can't get too bogged down with the what they're doing. We have to focus on ourselves and just make sure we pick up points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Norwich, they played City in their last game. They've then got Liverpool next in the league as well. So other teams around us are still going to have difficult fixtures as well. So it's not, it's not the be all and end all. And realistically, it's the fact we're still potentially in and amongst that sort of crop of clubs. Maybe that added pressure is good for the performances. The players can't, go on holiday early, go, sort of be on the beach, as they sort of say in the final couple of games of the season. 100% effort will always be put in. It's always with Marcelo Bielsa. But Kieran, we've tried to dodge trying to remove someone from his room now. we've tried to dodge the difficult run of fixtures over Christmas by postponing the Liverpool game, but we're now fitting it in between Manchester United and Spurs, so that sort of backfired in a sense.
Sorry, I lost my concentration there. Yeah,
no worries.
It's fallen at a really bad time of the season as that Liverpool game, because it's obviously a run of games where it's going to be difficult. It's hard to see us picking up that many points, and it just depends. Teams around us, I agree, we can't really get bogged down on what they're doing. We've got no control over that. At the end of the day, they're at this end of the table because they don't pick up points at a great rate anyway. So you can't really look and think, oh, they've got a winnable game here, they've got a winnable game there, because that's why they're here. They lose a lot of those winnable games. And I think for us, you look at that Spurs game, they're having a bit of a drop off at the moment. Yeah. We took them all the way at their place as well. We outplayed them in the first half, but had a bit of a poor second half. So also win over them at Elland Road last season. So I think you look at some of the factors around that game and you think maybe we could pick up points there. Leicester, like you say, not in great form either. So it's a difficult run of games. We might struggle, but I don't think it's a disaster spell of games. I think that there are points for us there if we can put together performances once again like we did against Villa or like we did against West Ham. It's just making sure the right Leeds United shows up on the day.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And hopefully we can just pick up some positive results. But, who's look at the table now. We've got a game in hand over Palace and we're 3 points off them. The table's so compact. Maybe I'm just being over dramatic with the whole, looking down rather than looking up. We'll be fine. We'll win on Sunday. We'll win all the remaining games and we'll be absolutely fine. Well, thank you very much, Adam and Kieran, for coming on the Bremner Square podcast. As usual, thank you very much for everyone who tuned in. And hopefully, you're either going to see a very happy or very distraught 3 people next Sunday or Monday. So hopefully it's the happy version. Have a good week. Enjoy the Manchester United game, and we will see you next time.